This man fought giants, and he beat them. Barely anyone knows him today, but this legend did something no man has ever done in the history of combat sports. As a fighter who would be a lightweight in MMA, he defeated some of the best heavyweight kickboxers of all time. He could land high kicks against giants. He could throw giants onto the ground. He could dodge their kicks like no one else in kickboxing history. Fight fans, welcome to the legend of the Giant Slayer. This is a man who lived in the Matrix. This is the David who fought Goliaths in real life. His name, Kaoklai, Gin Norasing. Like so many humble warriors from Thailand, Kaoklai's life was dedicated to Muay Thai at an early age. At only 12 years old, he was recruited to Jockey Gym, the #1 most technical gym in Thailand. This was home to legendary fighters like Saenchai, Lerdzilla, and Somlak. At 20 years old, Kaoklai already captured the prestigious Rajadamnern Stadium belt twice. But after losing the stadium title in 2003, he grew tired of cutting weight. So at 21 years old, Kaoklai decided to give kickboxing a try. The crazy thing is, he didn't want to fight kickboxers his size. So instead, he entered the K1 tournament made for heavyweights. In the Korean K1 Grand Prix tournament, he would defeat MMA champion Dennis Kang. And then karate champions Tsuyoshi Nakasako and Koyasu Shingo. This made him Korea's K1 heavyweight champion and qualified him for the 2004 K1 World Grand Prix. For those who don't know, this was the most prestigious heavyweight tournament in the world. In the opening match of a 16-man bracket, he had faced off against Alexei Ignashov. Alexei is a multiple-time world champion who many considered as the most technical heavyweight kickboxer in K1 history. When Kaoklai met the big man, Alexei was on a monstrous run, beating all-time greats such as Peter Ertz, Badahari, Mike Bernardo, and Semi Schilt. This was a heavyweight who looked nearly unstoppable from the years 2002 to 2004. Obviously, no one gave Kaoklai a fighting chance. But to everyone's surprise, Kaoklai was extremely elusive in the match. Using the evasive techniques that made Saenchai and Lerdzilla so great, Kaoklai was able to avoid damage and score enough points to secure a victory. This was already a spectacular feat, but it was the next fight that shocked the world and made Kaoklai truly prolific. Meet Mighty Mo, the biggest knockout artist in that tournament. Against this super scary fighter, Kaoklai was outweighed by more than 100 pounds. But Kaoklai fought smart. The giant chased the evasive Kaoklai throughout the ring, but the smaller fighter waited for the right moment to land a brilliant head kick. This is the head kick that shook up the whole world. The craziest part is that Mighty Mo would beat the #1 kickboxer, Remy Bonyaski, right after losing to Kaoklai. How was Kaoklai able to do this? After all, Mighty Mo was knocking everyone out, beating some of the best kickboxers of all time. You see, Kaoklai fought a hit and run style with his hands down. Using active footwork, he moved around the ring and used active feints and long range attacks such as jabs and teeps. This baited the giant to come in and get reckless. It's clear Kaoklai cannot stand still and trade with the giant, so he must win with great strategy. Every time Mighty Mo charged or tried to land a big combo, Kaoklai used active footwork to circle out. He would continue to circle to his right, which gets away from Mighty Mo's big overhand. Kaoklai, being the clever fighter that he is, would then sometimes move to the left in order to bait the right hand. This would signal to Mighty Mo that his right hand is in position to land. Then as Kaoklai threw the jumping high kick while moving left, Mighty Mo threw a powerful overhand that led to his own demise. The amount of torque he applied into the punch while having hands so low allowed the jumping high kick to double in power. This moment was as legendary as it gets. But Kaoklai had another fight on the same night. Advancing to the semi-finals, the world's eyes are now on Kaoklai as he faced Japan's #1 heavyweight kickboxer, Musashi. In the first round, he danced around and outscored Musashi from the outside. In the second round, Kaoklai walked down the giant while clearly outscoring. He even threw the big man onto the ground multiple times. Although Musashi rallied back on the third round, the previous 2 rounds should have earned Kaoklai the win. But it was Musashi's home country, and it was the same year Buakaw won his very hard-earned K1 Max title against Masato. It was no coincidence that this fight was also ruled a draw. In the extension round, the fight could have gone either way. Musashi was given the win, but the outcome of this match would forever remain controversial in the heart of all fight fans. But it doesn't matter, because Kaoklai's fights in the K1 World Grand Prix tournaments already proved one thing. It showed the world that a small, unassuming Muay Thai fighter is willing to fight anyone and anywhere. Kaoklai showed that it can be done even when he's outweighed by 100 pounds. It showed the world that Muay Thai, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, can defeat much bigger men. The K1 World Grand Prix was a tournament made for heavyweights. As the lightest fighter in the tournament, this man was a real-life David who fought Goliaths. Kaoklai wasn't a Goliath in size, but he was a giant at heart. 2004 was a year that made Muay Thai shine bright in the world. Buakaw would win the K1 World Max title and go on to become the greatest ambassador in Muay Thai history. In the same year, Kaoklai defeated giants. But for the most part, the world has forgotten Kaoklai's name. This is the story of the legendary giant slayer. Let's make the world remember his name once again. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to watch another episode of Striking Breakdowns. I'm Lawrence Kenshin, and thank you for keeping our channel alive.